It's time for Shit We Don't Know About with your hosts, Drew Linsalata and Mia Voss. This podcast has everything: conjecture, sarcasm, conspiracy theories, tangents, rants, and more. And now, coming to you from an undisclosed location, somewhere between the crematorium and the dildo shop, here's your hosts, Mia and Drew.
All right, we'll record. Might as well just start laughing because we're going to laugh anyway, whether they laugh along with us or not. Welcome to Bongo's Clown Room, Ohio. Everybody just stop listening. 11 seconds in, they all hit the eject button. Wow.
And it's inside joke time again.
And it's inside. We're just going to just riff for a half hour as usual. Welcome back to Shit We Don't Know About. This is episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Mia?
Hey,
Mia?
what's going on?
Weirdo.
It's just to give you a little feedback on or inside joke on that one. So this random one right here, Drew Linsalata. I'm Mia Voss. That's Drew Linsalata.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Well, they're here for a reason.
Yeah.
So messaged me the other day with which we're obsessed with Jason Sudeikis pretty much since What's Up With That, and he's doing the dance.
Oh, yeah,
and if you are watching the video, you can see me doing that now. And so yeah, he plays the DJ at a strip club called
Bongo's Clown Room. My last shift at Bongos. 1,200 beans and a scratch off, moving to Ohio.
Do you think that's shit we don't know about? Do you think that Jason Sudeikis just completely ad-libbed that entire show?
Sometimes I think he did. When I watched that sketch, I'm like, it wasn't landing, and he was enjoying the fact that the audience was drawing a blank. But I don't know. To me, it just cracked me up.
I love it. So
anywho,
we decided to just keep this going because there's so much shit we don't know about, but we sure talk about, don't we?
We do. It doesn't ever stop us, which is good. So again, for those of you who
about 99% of the population on social media as well.
Yeah, right. But we just might as well have fun doing it if we're going to do it. We just don't take it seriously. That's the difference. But
yes.
Yeah,
so we were going to, as you guys know, Drew's company produces my other podcast, which is Shit We Don't Talk About. So then hence this little sidebar.
So that's shit we know about, but don't talk about. This is stuff we don't know about, but we're going to talk about it anyway. It's a good compliment, really. Anyway,
you just nailed it.
That's perfect, right?
You know how there's an elevator speech or elevator pitch? That's it.
That's it. And let's just sit back and watch the investment money fly in.
That's the tweet.
That's it right there.
And don't at me.
Don't at me, man. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, you got wound to fuck up, and as we all did with Robinhood.
I'm fascinated by that story.
Robinhood is our new, what do you call it?
It's our new Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
It's our new Four Seasons Landscaping.
Yeah, I was fascinated by that story. I didn't look, again, shit we don't know about, but I feel like talking about it anyway. I don't know much about trading shorts and stocks. I mean, I know enough to be dangerous, but it doesn't mean I can't have I'm a short position. So yeah, but that was a story that absolutely fascinates me the deeper I got into it. Like, I don't know whose side I'm on. I don't know if I'm anybody's side really, but
no, I think now that we've gotten past the election, we can now kind of relax to the point of like, it's not just getting Trump out. Now it's really breaking down all the weird shit that's going on in the world.
Think about it. It would be super easy to just be like, oh, the billionaire ruling class, they got the game rigged. And yeah, I'm not saying that's not true. It is, but like the way those dudes on Reddit, first of all, Reddit, who's on Reddit? Like clearly a lot of people still are.
Wait, what was the one guy's name? Hold up. His name was Tig Old Biddies 420. The one Reddit user. Tig Old Biddies 420.
Is he the guy who started the whole
that just
thing?
doesn't tell you like the world is changing and they don't give a shit.
No.
I don't know.
No, and evidently this whole thing went back to some post that okay. It sounded like there was some alarm going off. Anyway, some dude made a post not too long ago about like really why GameStop is not a bad company, right? So it was a legit like, hey, here's their earnings, here's their cash surplus, like their operating costs are down, their inventory is low, everything was good, right? And somehow that turned into like, hey, if we all get together and we each pony up 40 cents, we would take down some hedge funds.
She brought 2 of her friends.
Right,
and she brought 2 of her friends.
That is exactly what wound up happening on the freaking American stock market. It blows me away. They bankrupted we don't know if they were bankrupt, but they needed to be. That was Marvin Capital. They needed to be bailed out by their partners.
Melvin
Diane Boss Capital. Those guys put the hurt on a $3 billion hedge fund. No joke.
You have to appreciate the shit of that. But then what came in? So these are all the perfect storm things. But just like with Four Seasons Landscaping, you have the president saying this is where he's going to be. Then Giuliani comes in, and then we're in between the crematorium and the sex shop, right? So you have this short sale. You have, GameStop, which to me sounds like the video store. What's the video store?
That's like Blockbuster.
It's
the Hollywood video of
Hollywood.
Yeah, and it kind of
Right?
is.
It is, and then also BlackBerry.
Oh,
BlackBerry was
they were in
involved in
RIM
this.
also, Research in Motion, and AMC, the movie theater company that's been empty since March. The poor guys.
All things
They didn't do anything
that
wrong.
are dusty as fuck.
Yes, like we're really on the death spiral.
Right. So you have Reddit, which is also, the clearinghouse of like they can kind of like Black Twitter. They can just take people down, and it's just this free for all, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You have these three players, and then you have an app called what?
Oh, Robinhood. Yeah. So Robinhood blows me away. Robinhood, they named it for that for a reason, right? I'm sure they read the books. They know the story. I mean, the legend, rob from the rich, give to the poor, right? So their whole idea is that Robinhood would democratize trading. Like, hey, man, this is not your father's stock market here. Everybody's equal. Everybody can do what they need to do. They let most people just are trading on margin, evidently, on Robinhood. I did not know this.
And I feel like their unspoken tagline is "Dude," right? Dude, making trades. And I also feel like with this name, it's like that scene from Princess Bride. I don't think those words mean what you think they mean.
Yes, a little bit. So it's so funny because to me, when you got a little bit deeper into it, so Robinhood makes this whole play. We're the everyman's trading platform here. None of these fat cats. We're the regular guys play it. So you're right, like, dude, trade some stock. That should be that's their hashtag. But when you look at their terms of service, it looks like everybody else's. There's no difference between Robinhood and everybody else in the end. So it's just a marketing thing, right? So all these Robinhood people jump in and they start putting in their pennies, not just on Robinhood, by the way, it was on other platforms, but that Robinhood got the attention and they drove the price of GameStop up to insane levels, over $300 a share. It's never, ever in the history of the entire company traded that high.
I wonder how many bong hits were involved in this entire transaction.
So what I found fascinating, I don't even know, like how the mob mentality picked up and like, well, let's all get together and pay. Now, look, they all didn't pay $300 a share. Some luck. And anybody who tells me that this was nothing more than like a joyride to take down, the ruling class is BSing, because do not tell me that some percentage of those early Redditors riled up the crowd, got in at $18, got out at 200, and were like, while everybody else is don't hold the door, and those guys are
the
smoking.
Old school, like paper waving.
Exactly right. Everybody else is holding for, their financial vigilante justice. And a few of those guys are just raked in some cash, and now they're just smoking cigars and laughing at everybody else. So I know that's got to be going on there. Had to be.
It's like every bad 80s movie. Gordon Gekko, you got, the whole, just it but it really was a perfect storm. And then just to have that, like the record scratch of, wait, this is not, this is our game. Yeah. The white male fail forward patriarchy comes rolling in. Wait a second, even though that's what seems to me like a bunch of young white guys like just kind of dicking with the system.
Kind of. Oh yeah, it totally was. There's no doubt in my mind. You don't drive that. Look, I'm no financial expert, but nobody pays $300.
You play one on TV.
Right. I didn't even sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. Nobody pays $300 a share for GameStop unless you're trying to make a point, is what it is. Mm-hmm. So, okay, they did that. So you're right. It's a bunch of dudes like, hey, I got $100 hanging around. Like some of my favorite memes were the stimulus check memes. Like a bunch of dudes on Reddit with their stimmy checks, like crushing hedge funds. But what blows me away about that is, okay, so they did that. They made a point. And the next day was all about hold, don't sell. We got to keep the price up so we keep that squeeze on these guys, right, on the short sellers. Right. And then Robinhood steps in, as did a bunch of other trading platforms, like, oh, no, you can't buy any more GameStop. You can only sell.
Sounding like Judge Schmelz. Wait a second now.
Right. And here's what's amazing about that. Is what they did right, even though they were targeting a rigged system and trying to shine a light on it? Probably. I don't know. It seems a gray area. Should those guys have gotten their heads handed to them, the hedge funds? Yeah, maybe. But I think what it really illustrated to me was, tremendous hundreds of millions of dollars into platforms that do algorithmic lightning fast trading that the average person cannot do, and they profit fractions of a cent on every transaction. They just do millions and millions of those every day, and they just rake in money.
Shit you see in movies, but
that's
you
real.
would never imagine in your own.
Oh no, that's real. So that part
yeah.
is okay. Like no, that's okay. I literally, being in the data center business for many years,
sure,
I had people who would want to co-locate equipment with us on Long Island, but wouldn't because of the extra 11 milliseconds to get to Lower Manhattan. Data transit, the speed of light mattered to them. That's real.
I'm like, no, it is. Yeah.
And so
that's
they're
time
playing
travel.
the game at
that's
that
time space continuum.
Yeah, but they're playing the game at that level with armies of MIT mathematics graduates writing programs to just steal pennies off of everything and see the trends and capitalize.
Okay, now I'm thinking Office Space when we're just going to round off the decimals,
yes,
right?
And that's what they're doing. And you and I can't do that. So that part of the market, that's okay. But if a bunch of human beings actually use their brokerage accounts to do a thing that leverages the power of a trend, that's not okay because it didn't. Wait a minute.
Isn't it like insider trading, a version of gaming the system? No pun intended. GameStop.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Well, it's certainly not insider trading, but it. You know
what I'm saying though, like something.
It's market manipulation. It absolutely is. It's just that's
nursing moms everywhere are like, oh, we know that game.
But it just really is it market manipulation? Yeah, I'm sure it probably is. Would somebody be? Who would you even go after if the SEC wanted to prosecute? Who?
Yeah,
some dude, Horse Gal 72 on Reddit. Like, how you gonna get them all?
Biddies,
right? How you gonna get? You can't get them all. So it's a fascinating. It really shined a light on. That's not a thing I think will happen all the time because not everybody wants to just throw money at making a point, which is what they did.
And we're already in this. I love how 2021 has just come rolling in with the most random shit like this, right? And so my favorite memes are, who expected this, right? Who expected that GameStop and BlackBerry would be,
AMC.
And AMC would be agreeing on that. And it's interesting to see. Was it the AOC? Was this AOC? Does this lead us to the Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez and Ted Cruz?
We may tweet? As well. AMC, the movie chain sounds like AOC, so we might as well segue. I think we've beaten the Robinhood.
Well, I believe was that the tweet when AOC said, yes. Hey, we really need to. This was the best, folks.
Yeah.
We really need to check the system out. And then out of nowhere comes rolling in Ted Cruz with the simple retweet with the quote saying, I agree on this. And she was like, and if you're watching the video, puts the hands up and gives him the, sit your ass down because I would love to work with Republicans, across the aisle, as long as they didn't try to have me killed several weeks ago. Pretty much that's you. So what you could do to help is resign. And I was like, the big shade.
Yeah. Just slid right over the top of that. You couldn't even see Ted Cruz. There was so much shade. It was completely blacked out. Ted Cruz, or
Nothing's
like to call
better
him,
than people walking into shade. I mean, there's just unsolicited shade where it's like, damn, girl, you came out of nowhere. Let's flip back to Ted Cruz, though. That mofo walked into that thing.
How do you not know? If you're Ted Cruz, by the way, you know who Ted Cruz is? He's the Trailer Park Wolverine with that beard. Like he is going for the Hugh Jackman Wolverine beard, and he's just failing. Like, dude, just shave it, man.
Well, and then it must be a Florida thing with this hair issue because Matt Gaetz with his Beavis and Butthead, first of all, you can't help your forehead. I get that.
No,
but you can do things to help. And his Beavis and Butthead giant Eric Trump hairdo is not fucking helping.
Sorry about your forehead, dude.
Yeah, you're totally right about the Wolverine thing.
Yeah, he's Trailer Park Wolverine. But how does he not know that when he says that, she is going to come at him hard? How does she not know that?
Oh,
how does he not know that?
Savage as fuck all along, whether you like her or not, whatever. Yeah. And again, this is why I like being on this side of the election, because now we can focus on the differences between the parties and what we like. And so, but you gotta know, come on. But the way that she did it, was just so juicy. I read it several times and retweeted it.
You tried to have me murdered a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, like wow. So
murdered.
I just don't. I don't understand why he would decide I'm gonna jump in and let me
Yeah,
cozy up to my buddy AOC
I don't know
here,
if this is his across the aisle effort or what's going on. Now, could we segue into what is going to be a new segment of the show? And it's called,
This is the first I'm hearing of it. I'm enjoying this.
I
I'm
like
on
to
the
do this
show
too.
and I don't know.
I don't even know what's happening
I
here.
don't
You've heard this phrase though. Ready? It's called, is that bitch?
Okay, we can make that a segment. That needs its own little jingle. We'll work on that.
It does need a little, now it's time for,
Is
brought
that
to you
this bitch?
by the makers of shit we don't know about. So the phrase, is that bitch, started with my friend TJ, couple, and who's the king of snark. And you just be like, we'll be talking about something. He's like, is that bitch who, and then you fill in the blank. And now let me just also be clear. The term bitch is they, them in my world.
Yeah.
So that could be any
It could be
gender.
anything. Yeah. No, I'm with
Nobody is
Yeah.
gets away scot-free on this one. So yeah, so he would be like, is that bitch? One of my favorite is that bitch was when Ivanka did the promo for Goya. And here she is in her little lily white outfit, her I'm going to a tea party outfit, holding the can of Goya beans. And I said it to TJ, or he said it back to me. He goes, is that bitch? It's Ivanka holding that. So, there's so many is that bitches, but the two recently are
that one.
Is it Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert? Like you literally can't tell these crazy bitches apart. Is that bitch?
I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, though, I got to give her props. She's taking it to another level. I mean, Lauren Boebert is a thing. She wants to bring her gun into the Capitol. Yeah, she's a badass. We get it.
Yeah, let me just admit that I live in Colorado. Yeah. Now, is that bitch? Is that bitch who got, see, this is how it comes in. Is that bitch who got elected over there across the
right.
across the way?
Yeah, she's the one with the Glock at the supermarket. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, it's her.
Yeah, that's the one who, yes, that then also did the video that reminded me of Legally Blonde when Elle did the video to get into law school. I object. And she's wearing her little outfit. That's the video that Lauren Boebert did of I'm bringing my guns to DC.
Oh yeah.
But you're right. I have to say,
no questions. Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? MTG.
Yeah.
She is at another level. How did you not know this about somebody I mean, look, I'm not saying that we're really good at elections beyond presidential elections. We kind of suck at them. Even congressional elections, I think we're not good at. People don't pay attention. But she was right out there in the open. If I decide to run for like New York State House, I'm going to be a House member in the state of New York. People are going to find like the stupid pictures I took with my friends in 1986 at the University of Buffalo, for God's sake.
Dude,
and
let
I'm
me tell you
and
something.
then I'm out of the
That's
race. How does she tweeting about Jewish space lasers and stuff like that? And like she got elected anyway. How is that possible?
So we've I don't know if you and I have had this conversation, but people of our age have had this conversation of the beauty of being this old is all the dumb shit we did. Oh, yeah. Maybe once in a while resurfaces from somebody's shoebox, but it's not on a constant loop, which is another reason why I will say to find the positive or the negative. I am going to miss Trump on Twitter because you could literally from 2012, 13, 14, you could find a corresponding tweet of him complaining about the exact same. I mean, it was just so amazing, right? Like you could literally find a corresponding tweet. However, is that so this bitch that also goes with, is that bitch? So this bitch here, I mean, we're talking only like 2018 or 2019 that the space lasers, the following the kid from Parkland, which was just egregious beyond belief. And people are like, well, why didn't he say anything? I'm like, because she says she's got a concealed weapon and this kid has been through a mass shooting. The fuck? Anyway,
who doubts that though? I saw some of that commentary. Like, why didn't he say something to her? Because she stalked him down the street declaring that she is armed. Like, I don't understand how that's okay. Why is that okay? And then we literally, did people just not pay attention, or people in her congressional district are really just into that?
I might have a little answer for you. So I love Trevor Noah, by the way. Yeah. He's just a lot of times Trevor Noah is like the problem. Like I used to have to feed things to me via Trevor Noah. Like I literally during most of the last administration could not listen to that president. I just had to have Trevor Noah imitate him so I would know what's going on. That's how I dealt. That was my world. But he did say that I think that was a very crowded, and I need to look this up. See, shit we don't know about, but we're still going to talk about it.
Absolutely.
He did say that there's so many candidates in that area, which is why it was also confusing for Ossoff and Warnoff.
Oh.
Everybody elected Warnoff, but then Ossoff was a little bit behind because they thought they couldn't vote. Like that this is a version of voter suppression in a way too, is you're not looking. Also, party over country is they're like, oh, she's Republican, so they voted her in. Plus, it's a super, super red state. All they saw was Trump.
Yep.
I do think that this bitch here hid a lot of that, but it took 2 seconds to start digging into her social media to see she's liking posts that says Pelosi should be killed. She also is making speeches of saying, she committed treason. Guess what happens when you commit treason? And it's like, she really didn't hide it though, Drew. I don't know.
No, I don't think she did. And what's so funny is when you get in, and look, let me be clear here. The people who voted for her, I do not believe that all the people that elected her believe in Jewish space lasers and false flag opera. I don't. I got to somehow find a way to exist in the world.
They might buy a couple of those little sound bites that fit their narrative.
Some percentage of the people who voted for her may be into that stuff. They might be QAnon people and everything. That's true, but I cannot believe the entire congressional district is all like got pitchforks and torches ready to go at her bequest. I don't believe that because I have to find a way to live in the world.
A month ago,
hard to do.
Now I'm so excited. I'm talking over you.
No, it's really okay. But in the end, you would think that when you get there, if this is your agenda, right, you're going to uncover. I don't know what her agenda is. Does she believe that? Is she there to somehow now uncover all this stuff? Is it?
She's like Lauren Boebert is a version light of Marjorie Taylor Greene because she just likes to say things and then she fights on Twitter. She's literally more on Twitter fighting with. Actually, you know what I love is we have a guy here named Tay Anderson who's one of the youngest school board members. Okay. This kid just shakes it up. He ran for the board a couple of years ago at like 18. And now he really shakes shit up. He fucks with her so hardcore on Twitter. So you can go follow Tay, Tay Anderson. But so Lauren Boebert's over here just more like, I object, right? But Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is balls deep into.
She's invested.
Yeah. So I don't, and it's true. But back to my boy, Trevor Noah, he had a theory that, because maybe she actually is Democrat because she's literally coming in and making Republicans look so bad. Now, it's bad.
Yeah.
When McConnell's like, she's kind of crazy. He just said that yesterday, like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
See, that's the I don't know about that.
Alexa, what is that woman? Odessa.
What the kids doing?
What is that woman doing in the House of Representatives? I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
How funny is that?
But the good point is that they stand what this position that she has stands against everything that she supposedly believes in. So
right.
Inside job. I don't know.
It's kind of weird, but you would think that if in fact you are invested in these theories, which she seems to be, like she is in, like you said, Boebert is kind of doing the old like patriot, don't take my guns away, brave America.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we've seen that person before. There's 100 of her, but this one, MTG, she takes it to a whole nother level. She's invested in this stuff, I think, in a deep way. So what's your plan? Let me get elected, and then I'm going to bring it all crashing down from the inside. Okay, let's assume that is your plan. Don't you think you would show up and just like sit quietly with your hands folded at your desk just waiting? You would not show up and then like try and get noticed. Although, how did that stuff come out? I guess people started digging. She didn't start. I think she was keeping quiet for the most part.
She was, but it is interesting. That is shit we don't know about of how that was the ability for that blatant of information to be out there and be okay with it. But again, that's the whole crux of what's going on in the world is what serves your narrative.
You would think that somebody would have said, we better delete some stuff. Now, the internet doesn't forget, but somebody should have said like, you're going to win. We're going to have to delete a few things. Give me your phone.
Sis.
Right.
And then there's like the Christmas list of like, whoosh, and the whole thing just goes rolling out of like,
here's the things we think should not be in your social media history. Right. And it's just like red carpet comes rolling out.
Yeah. That would be like the redacted reports you see where there's like 2 words and then there's like black marks through the whole thing of like, nope, highlighter. Nope. Okay, Marjorie, you could just shut up for a while. Well, we will see.
I guess we're going to find out. The cynic in me says that anybody who holds office at that level is surrounded by a team of handlers who are there to keep the image polished and make sure nothing goes wrong. But I am starting to believe that is absolutely not true. Like, anybody could just show up, get elected, and then hilarity ensues. On both parties. It has the stupidity does not know party lines for the most part. Like, Democrats
it's
historically
boundless.
do really stupid shit too to just sink their careers, usually involving sex scandals and stupid like things like that. Like, but you know, so it does. There's no just because you got there doesn't mean you're protected by your peeps. I guess they're just going to let you burn.
Well, I know Boebert's PR person quit like within a week, man. She just couldn't even take it. Of like, I'm out. She tapped out.
Here's what we can end with this. And I don't want to, this is the thing. I'm kind of tired of even saying the name at this point. So like when you were saying yesterday, the new press secretary, when she was like, do you guys know, like literally, we don't actually say his name. We're talking about the ex-president.
Jen Psaki, man.
Don't have a reason to, I didn't know how to say it.
Let's end on her.
Yeah, because she ain't playing. And that whole like, in case you guys don't even notice, we don't think of him. It's like she's like a line out of an Ayn Rand book. Like, I don't what do you think of Trump? We don't think of him. Like,
we did.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, so that's great.
Let's end on that with the queen of savage shade in the sweetest way, because she not only did we don't think of him, which was great, but yesterday too. Now, and that's something that's must see TV for me now too. Jen Psaki. I only watch it on PBS because I don't want to see the dumbass comments that people make about her. They at least let you see it that way.
Yeah.
Somebody said yesterday about Space Force, and she said, "Oh, is this the plane of today?" Because they keep trying to trip her up with, I don't know if you knew this, like a couple days ago, they're like, well, what does President Biden think about the new colors that they're trying to decide for Air Force One? And she's like, are you kidding me? She's like, that's in the same line of, we don't think about Trump. She's like, that's not even on his radar to even think about that. So then yesterday, some top of the food chain, white official guy, old guy was like I'm so offended that she's making fun of Space Force. She did make a tweet that was like, we take everything seriously. It was not an apology, but it was the most savage, delicious shade of like, oh, is this the plane for today that you're going to try and bring up? Okay.
It is silly when you think about it. And I understand members of the press are trying to do a job. And in this day and age, journalism is very different than it used to be. They got to get eyeballs. They got to get clickbait. I get it. So they're doing their job. But really, does any intelligent person really think that anyone cares about the colors of the plane right now? Like, we have so much shit going on right now. Who gives a crap? I don't care if that plane is purple. Paint it any way you want. Who cares? Like, what's the difference, people?
To quote Melania, who gives a fuck about Christmas?
Anyway.
That is that bitch. All right.
All right, we did good. 28 minutes. This is good. We didn't ramble like we did last time. So for those of you who hung around for an entire hour with us last week, thank you. All 4 of you. However many of you listened at this point.
We enjoyed it. 2 of those were us.
That's exactly right. Right, exactly. I listened twice. So one other person. I don't know, whoever you are, thank you. Thank you, one guy.
Thank you, Fun Guy 275 for listening.
Randomly stumbled upon the podcast on Spotify. Anyway, so we'll do these. I don't know when we're going to do them. We'll make up whenever there's enough to talk about, I guess.
I think when subject material comes up, we're going to jump on it. So if you have any suggestions, at me.
Yes, then at Mia. Most of the time it's don't at me. In this case, go ahead, at Mia. And if you have anything you want us to kick around, I guess that's fine. I don't know. I guess that's it. But in the meanwhile, go check out Shit We Don't Talk About, miavoss.live/podcast. That is Mia's podcast. That's a good podcast. Unlike this one where we're just being silly. That's a real one where there's real issues.
I think this is a good podcast.
It's a good podcast too, but this ain't changing the world in any way. You're actually doing good work. So you guys should go check that out.
And let me then scratch your back, because I really mean it. Then go check out Drew's podcast, The Anxious Truth, because now what's really cool is you're putting them all up on YouTube because you fancy AF.
I am very fancy, yes.
Super.
Every day an old one goes up on the YouTube too. Anyway, that's at theanxioustruth.com. You'll find everything there if you want to check it out. That's if you have anxiety problems. Go check it out. We'll see you guys.
You mean everybody?
You mean like everybody? Oh, like the entire human race? Yes. Paging the entire human race. Anyway. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. See you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.